Cybersecurity is big business in a modern day world. The hacks that we hear about in newspapers are from... I can turn this one off. Are from exploiting vulnerabilities. In this room, we're going to explain exactly what a vulnerability is, and it's the types of vulnerabilities and how we can exploit these for success in our penetration testing endeavors. An enormous part of penetration testing is knowing the skills and resources for whatever situation you face. This room is going to introduce you to some resources that are essential when researching vulnerabilities. Specifically, you're going to be introduced to what vulnerabilities are and what they're worthy of learning about. Why they're worthy of learning about. I was like, what? How are vulnerabilities rated? Databases for vulnerability research. A showcase of how vulnerability research is used on Acme's engagement. This is the test there. Itching. Allergies. Introduction to vulnerabilities. A vulnerability in cybersecurity is defined as a weakness or flaw in design, implementation, or behaviors of a system or application. An attacker can exploit these vulnerabilities to gain access to unauthorized information and perform unauthorized actions. The term vulnerability has many definitions by cybersecurity bodies. However, there is a minimal variation between them all. For example, NIST defines a vulnerability as a weakness in an information system security procedures, internal controls, or implementation that could be exploited or triggered by a threat source. Vulnerabilities can originate from many factors, including a poor design of an application or an oversight of the intended action from a user. We will come on to discuss the various types of vulnerabilities in a later room. However, for now, we should know that there are arguably 5 main categories of vulnerabilities. So, operating systems. These types of vulnerabilities are often found in operating systems. Surprise. And often the result of privilege escalation. Misconfiguration based. These types of vulnerabilities stem from incorrectly configured application or service, for example, a website exposing customer details. Weak or default credentials. That's a vulnerability. It's more like, yeah, but I guess this is also just user error. Applications and services that have an element of authentication will come with default credentials when installed. For example, an administrator dashboard may have the username and password of admin. These are easy to guess by an attacker. Did you hear about the new UK law that forbids stuff from having these? That's cool. Application logic. These vulnerabilities are a result of poorly designed applications. For example, poorly implemented authentication mechanisms that may result in an attacker being able to impersonate a user. So, bad programming. Human factor. Human factor vulnerabilities are vulnerabilities that leverage human behavior. For example, phishing emails are designed to trick humans into believing they are legitimate. I guess these are vulnerabilities. All of them. But I'm thinking this is not really a vulnerability like that, and it is built in, but it's also not configured, so it's a misconfiguration to have a default credential, so 2 of them for the same thing. Whatever. Let's continue. As a cybersecurity was breathing in that. That's stupid. As a cybersecurity researcher, you will be assessing application and systems using vulnerabilities against these targets in day-to-day life. So it's crucial to be familiar with this discovery and exploitation process. And there's the question: an hacker's been able to upgrade the permission of the system account from user to administration. What vulnerability is this operating system? You managed to bypass the login panel using cookie and authenticate. What type of vulnerability is this? Application logic. So, scoring vulnerabilities, CVSS and VPR. Vulnerability management is the process of evaluating, categorizing, and ultimately remediating threats, vulnerabilities faced by an organization. It is arguably possible to patch and remedy every single vulnerability in a network or computer system that sometimes a waste of resources. After all, only approximately 2% of vulnerabilities only ever end up being exploited. And there's a source for this. Priorities to... we can look at that later. Prediction report. Instead, it is all about addressing the most dangerous vulnerabilities and reducing the likelihood of an attack vector being used to exploit the system. This is where vulnerability scoring comes into play. Vulnerability scoring serves a vital role in vulnerability management and is used to determine the potential risk and impact a vulnerability may have on a network or computer system. For example, the popular Common Vulnerability Scoring System, CVSS, awards points to a vulnerability based upon its features, availability, and reproducibility. Of course, as always in the world of ID, there is never just one framework or proposed idea. Let's explore two of the more common frameworks and analyze how they differ. Yeah, I was just checking again InfoSec streams, and I'm currently not online. So, it's kind of common. So, I should actually send a message to him. Let me do that here on the other one. Waiting for the page to load because I clicked. Waiting for the channel there. So scrolling, I'm sure I have him somewhere. There. So just so there. Let's continue. I'm just sending him a message so he knows. So how far had I read? I had read this. And the study is all about addressing the most dangerous vulnerabilities and reducing the likelihood of an attack vector being used to exploit a system. Yeah, I read this too. Let's just continue from here anyway. This is where vulnerability scoring comes into play. Vulnerability scoring serves a vital role in vulnerability management and is used to determine the potential risk and impact a vulnerability may have on a network or computer system. For example, the popular Common Vulnerability Scoring System, CVSS, awards points for vulnerability based upon its features, availability, and reproducibility. Yeah, I'd read all of it already. Okay, of course. As always in the world of ID. Yeah, I'll have to... I can't watch myself. Pause. It was like moving when I moved things. So... There's never just one framework or proposed idea. Let's explore two of the more common frameworks and analyze how they differ. Common Vulnerability Scoring System, CVSS. First introduced in 2005, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System is a popular framework for vulnerability scoring and has three major iterations. As it stands, the current version is CVSS 3.1. For is a draft. A score is essentially determined by some of the following factors, but many more. How easy is it to exploit the vulnerability? Do exploits exist for this? How does this vulnerability interfere with the CIA triad and its confidentiality, integrity, and availability? Is the opposite of disclosure, alteration, and destruction. In fact, there are so many variables that you have to use a calculator. So there's a calculator for this. We'll look at it. To figure out the scoring using this framework, a vulnerability is given a classification out of 5, depending on the score that it has been assigned. I have put the qualitative severity rating scale and their score ranges into the table below. So, known 0. That's one of the categories. Okay. So, if it's like, what could possibly be a known? Well, let's see if they have examples. Low up to 30.9, medium up to 6.9, high 8.9. Critical the rest. However, CVSS is not a magic bullet. Let's analyze some of the advantages and disadvantages of CVSS in the table below. Before this, let's actually look at this so we know more about it. Common Vulnerability Scoring System Calculator. This page shows how shows the components of a CVSS assignment and allows you to define the resulting CVSS score with additional different metric values. Read the CVSS standards guide to fully understand how to assess vulnerability using CVSS, and to interpret the resulting scores. The scores are computed in a sequence such as base score is used to calculate temporal score, and the temporal score is used to calculate environmental score. Okay. Base score metrics. Hi, Booba. Yes?
Can you get spaghetti?
Okay, I fix that. My kid wants some food. It's 17. Yeah, it's like dinner time almost. That'll be quick to fix. There's still tomorrow I'll have to make new spaghetti and meat sauce, because this will be the last of the spaghetti. let's read the end of this one.
Happy Video 25 says, Hi, smile, smile.
Welcome back. So, we're reading Try Hack Me rooms here now. Learning rooms. However, CVSS is not a magic bullet. Let's analyze some of the advantages and disadvantages of CVSS in the table below. Advantages and disadvantages. CVSS has been around a long time. Is that an advantage then? CVSS was never designed to help prioritize vulnerabilities. Instead, just assign a value of severity. It's popular in organizations. Heavily assesses vulnerabilities on exploit being available. However, only 20% of all vulnerabilities have an exploit available. And this could change quickly, right? If it's, it must change the score if it suddenly becomes there.
VR Mechatronics says, Happy Video 25 hi.
I'm just GoPro slow yo answer.
Happy Video 25 says, Hi VR Mechatronics.
So I'm just going to check his list here. Oh. So you can watch this with me. Oh my god, I didn't even start my phone with the switch screen set. Program apps as a stream. Okay, so I can just read this later. I'm just typing to him. He sent me like the... I don't think his code is bad. Nice. Maybe we can have regular checks like every 15 minutes. I'll be back to you. There. So, I can switch to him, but anyway, it's, yes, it's a private chat. So there's just an ad on my phone that I'm trying to mute. And why do I keep getting ads for TikTok? I think someone's peeling an orange slowly. Like with a microscope view or something. That's an odd ad. So now my phone is on if you need to do that. Yeah. CVSS is a free framework to adopt and recommended by organizations such as Nest. Vulnerability rarely change sorting after assessment, despite the fact that new developments such as exploits may be found. Yeah, so, you know, this sounds like an odd thing. If they... I mean, if it was how hard it would be to make an exploit, it might be more... or to use an exploit, if one existed. Yeah, I can see both angles, but these seem like not very good advantages. So let's see what the alternative is. I'm just going to quickly microwave for like 1.5 minutes some food. Put it on the plate. Right, let's switch mics so I can talk to you. So that's why this one is in there, so I can talk to you in this situation. I'll be right back. My legs now. And I'm gonna take this so when we get run. I'm thinking he might have it. We're talking about running. If you want to do something, all this stuff training. So I was just thinking that since I'm anyway going to study it, I can just stream it. Since I'll put it on YouTube later, so maybe I should keep these two away. Because I know how to go through all of them. So the only reason I can do it, is because I'm not actually editing it. So it's quick, very quick. Just click about the minutes. And if I add stuff, like taking away long parts of, like these pauses, that happen in life when it's live. And I need to make food or something. Then usually it's kind of quick. I'm putting the meat sauce on the spaghetti now. So, putting it in the microwave. Right, real album apples. If you lost this. So, I'll need ketchup. Oh, this can almost out. Giving you one from the cover. And the fridge. So, we're like using, how much is the one of these? 1.25 kilos. We're using 2.5 kilos ketchup a week. I think that's probably right. I need to clean some stairs here. Because I emptied a lot of stuff from the attic And some things are just everywhere.
Dianal 2 Wa 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 Dianal 2H. Translated from Indonesian.
So I'm going to microwave it a bit more. 20 seconds. We don't cool food. That's not nice. Right? My carrying all these cold things, you know. There, so we have food, ketchup. Så varsågod älskling. Varför börjar du med planerande? Engine. Oh, so it's a car. Men jag ska kolla mer på den sen.
Can you get me a few water? Times 4?
Jag tror inte jag hade den planen.
You get 4 glasses of water.
Är det vad som behövs här? Men du får göra som jag och Lin, som en sån här stor flaska med vatten.
No.
Okej. Nej, jag fixar vatten, gubben. So just water. Okay. Så, varsågod älsklingen.
Red water sounds similar to ravioli.
Red water and ravioli.
Red water sounds similar to ravioli.
Yes. Ravioli är lite lätt.
It also sounds similar to red violets.
Gör du någonting av de sakerna du vill? Klart nu. Jobbar du mot dina mål?
No, I don't know how to. You know.
Okay. Make it like. We were talking, he said he didn't reach his goals, he wanted to progress. So we're trying to help him before. So it is hard if you don't start, you never finish. Oh, those were a lot of those funny cats. So, let's continue. Vulnerability Priority Rating, VPR. The VPR framework is a much more modern framework in vulnerability management, developed by Tenable, an industry solutions provider for vulnerability management. This framework is considered to be risk-driven, meaning that the
VR Mechatronics says. What finish?
If you have a project and you never start, you won't reach the end when it's done, right? You'll have to start first and do a little bit and a little bit more, and then you finally finish with the project. That's what I meant.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. So, meaning that vulnerabilities are giving a score with a heavy focus on the risk a vulnerability poses to the organization itself, rather than
Pilfer says,
factors such as
did you do my
impact.
CTF challenge yet? D.
No, I just started. I've been doing the CV all morning, and then I had a IRL thingy at my kid's school, and now I just started. So I haven't looked at it, but I will. I will. I saw you sent it in Gar's Discord there too. Mhm. And it was Go related, right? Didn't you say? So maybe I should continue studying that first. What do you think? Do I need that knowledge?
Yep.
Hmm. So I'll do it, but I feel like I want to progress a bit every day at least on the paths here.
Go plus mag plus some basic JS.
Yeah, and I could probably like if I don't have to type a lot of Go code, I could probably just figure it out anyway. Though it didn't look like it was extremely different from other languages. Um, they give me a hint now. Um, so is that a thing you can like do on stream? Hmm? Maybe I should do it one of the days here of the week. Or maybe it's too hard for me still.
Can you repeat that? I got a spam call lol.
Ah, uh, well, first I think I said that maybe I don't need to type a lot of, code in Go. Maybe I just need to like understand code, and maybe it's not so complex and different to Go, as Rust seems to be very different. Um, and then I said that can I do it on stream? Maybe would that be okay, or do you want it to be secret?
So my challenge requires 0 Go knowledge.
Okay, okay.
Sure, you can
Okay,
stream
thanks.
it.
Then I might. We'll see when I do it. I don't know yet. Since I've been very focused on the CV thing, now I want to do like a race through a bit of this.
I actually recommend that people don't read the code.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I read the README, so I read that you said that it could like if you know what's going to happen thing, right? Uh, maybe I'm just going to actually. Shit. Um. Yeah. So yeah. I will look at it definitely. But not today because I'm very tired after the other things. So reading some theory rooms, that's like my level now. It's warm too, so you get kind of sleepy from that. So, and I think actually my
All
my
good
my
haha.
throat is kind of sore from yesterday. 13.5 hours. How did that happen? I don't know how many hours it is so far today. 5 maybe, 6. So, but I'm going to. These are things I want to have read these and checked through them, and I guess there's something practical here too. Um, so it's nice, to have all the checking stuff off the list. But I'm not actually making notes on this. Um, it's more like having heard about things. I'm thinking, right? We'll see. You're welcome to stay. So we read this list, so I'm not going to hop too far because I thought I already read it. Um, Yeah, the risk of vulnerability poses to the organization itself rather than focus factors such as impact, like CVSS. Uh, Scoring takes into account the relevancy of a vulnerability. For example, no risk is considered regarding a vulnerability if that vulnerability does not apply to the organization, i.e., they do not use the software that is vulnerable. What? VPR is also considerably dynamic in scoring, where the risk that a vulnerability may pose can change almost daily as it ages. That sounds smart. I mean, if there's suddenly an expert and there wasn't, this one wouldn't update. So, um, VPR uses a similar scoring as CSS. Oh, uh, which I have also put in the table below. However, two notable differences is that VBR does not have a known category. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Because PBR uses a different scoring method, the same vulnerability will have a different score using VPR than when using CVSS. Well, of course, otherwise it would be useless. Let's recap some of the advantages and disadvantages of VPR framework in the table below. So, advantages. VPR is a modern framework that is real world. And it considers over 150 factors when calculating risk. Risk driven and used by organizations to help prioritize patching vulnerabilities. Scoring is not final and very dynamic, meaning the priority a vulnerability should be given can change as the vulnerability ages. Intentionally left blank. Uh, Disadvantages. VPR is not open source like some other vulnerability management frameworks. It can only be adapted part of can only be adopted a part of a commercial platform. A part of VPR does not consider the CIA triad to the extent that CVSS does, meaning that risk to the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data does not play a large factor in scoring vulnerability when using VPR. And what year? So I just answered these to, keep the streak there. If you wanted to use a framework that was, oh, I did hopped over this one. If you wanted to access vulnerability based on risk it poses to an organization, what framework would you use? Uh, and there were two, and one had 4 letters and one 3 letters. If you if you wanted to use a framework that was free and open source, what framework would that be? So CVSS, and we have 31 days. Vulnerability databases. And there are, of course, repetition of things, which is good, I guess, but still, I would really like to hop to the red teamy one now. I kind of felt that when doing the CV, and I read all of them, and I was like, I looked into it, and that seemed very interesting. Throughout your journey in cyberspace. What was that? Oh, let me just move to something else on Twitch here. Throughout your journey in cyberspace, you will often come across a magnitude of different applications or services. For example, a CMS, whilst they all have the same purpose, often they should have had a comma there. Often have very different designs and behaviors, and in turn, potentially different vulnerabilities. Thankfully for us, there are resources on the internet and keep track of vulnerabilities of all sorts of software, operating system, and more. This room will showcase two databases that we can use to look up existing vulnerabilities and applications discovered in our InfoSec journey. So specifically the following databases: NVD. Right, before we open more things here, let's look at this one too. So, and this one, what was this? So probably a link that was whatever. Common vulnerability scoring system user guide. So before we look at that, we should read this. So we can read this later, or I can read this later, or I can just TT as it while I do the laundry. You know, and that's what I will do with long text that might not be very super interesting. And this was the calculator. So let's scoring. Let's make some scoring thing here, like in the middle of the mess, because I need to sort that. So, well, scoring. The reason I want to save these links is because I'm not making notes on this. I'm just thinking that if I need to, I will just look this up, and it might be good to have this sometime somewhere. I don't know. So now let's open the new links, so I don't get crazy amount of links here. So this one I've been to lots of times, mostly from Googling, of course. I don't think I've ever been to this one. I've been to NIST's page, but not like a vulnerability database. So this is definitely notes stuff. Finding vulnerabilities. That's something we want to do a lot of, right? Now that's a thingy. So, so I'm going to actually put, I have it still up here. I just made this before, so let's also add so it's kind of similar, but this is a Docker. So Docker, I would see more there. First on the list, I'm going to do it. I'm keeping the page open. So not closing all of InfoSec. Close the boxes. So actually tools and info. I was just looking for something before. So I think I have like, well, vulnerability and exploits. They're not the same, but when we're talking about finding stuff, it's the same. Because you have to find the vulnerability to find the exploit, right? I don't have a number 12 here. So this is more making, and I have more, should have more stuff up there. Do I have anything on finding vulnerabilities? I was sure it was in here, but I guess it is, right? We have all of the thingies here. So let's actually rename this one to I'm typing out the whole word. Or am I not? I'm not. It's so long. That's okay. So, uh, well, finding sites, right? Whoa, we Google, don't we? If you have suggestions, please tell me, because I Google. If that's not the way to do it. Hello? So, did it do like some Windows V or something? Let's try it. Yeah, I did Windows V. That could be scary in case you would happen to copy and paste something secret and then clicking it by mistake. I'm not going to like. Well, we might need these later for the thingy. Um, so I think M6 sent me lots of stuff from them to read. I haven't read it yet. I should read it. The standards stuff. Oh my god, itches. Oh. Yeah, so you don't need to read the source code for to do this challenge. In fact, reading the code may spoil it for you. So we're not reading the code for that one. I'm just replying to Gopal. Yeah. Mm. So I'm kind of thinking, I shouldn't sit like this. No, let's stand a bit. Just checking cables there. We don't want anything. So, oh, those are very tight. This must be high enough, right? Yeah, I think so. I think it's good. Ah, there. Now we can move a bit. My butt was a pain there. So this is not good. You shouldn't sit for too long, right? Moving instead. It's much better. Right, but now I'm closer to those lights. Another thing I haven't done in a long time is like electronics, right? I need to do some electronics too. Some stream. But first, prioritize studying so that I can get a job, or if it's starting something, or rather like just add stuff to the vulnerability databases. We have already looked at these now. Before we dive into these two resources, let's ensure that our understanding of the fundamental key terms is on the same page. Vulnerability. A vulnerability is defined as a weakness or flaw in design, implementation, or behaviors of a system or application. Exploit. An exploit is something such as an action or behavior that utilizes a vulnerability on a system or application. And I shouldn't have this page up. Right. So when things move there, I'm like, what? Hi, welcome in.
Chandu16 says, Hi,
So, proof of concept. A POC is a technique or tool that often demonstrates the exploitation of a vulnerability. NVD, National Vulnerability Database. The National Vulnerability Database is a website that lists all publicly categorized.
I
It's a
am a
template
dev,
like
not a hacker, but I think you will like to shop.
yes, yes, I do. I have done. There's a room on TryHackMe, but I haven't intended to like do the rest of it because you don't have time. It expires on TryHackMe, so even if you continue on, you will never do all of it. So I think I have it in my notes to do more. Actually, we can like derail a bit here. Um, let's search for juice. Mm. Um, what's
Do you
the
code?
organization called? Yeah, yeah, I do. Um, so what's that organization called that does it?
Maybe Python.
Yep,
I
Python.
think.
Um, so that is Python. Or what do you mean? Anyway, with UseShop, I was thinking of this website that has built-in vulnerabilities, right? Um, I'm just OWASP. That's it, right? Um, here we have UseShop to sort. All right, so this is from me doing it. Okay. Um, so I was just going for the link. I think I'm having have it somewhere. Links to images. Here.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so this one. Here are other ones too, and it's my in my lab one. So when I move this to the one I just created, so now I know it's in lab. Lab, just lab, not even infosec lab, just lab, and we want to move links to images because these are like
You learning
images.
whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, all the things. I'm I'm desperate. I'm addicted to knowledge. I'm sorry, but it's a sad truth. Um, so I'm trying to make it scroll down there. So a bit up. And then we want to go into boxes. Can you take open it? No. But it can scroll now. That's a step up.
Are you reading any book?
Um, not really. Maybe Black Hat Python. I'm going to do it at least. Um, and I like sent a mail to them and asked if I can do it on stream. So I think this is a Docker one too, right? So I could move it to the Docker. Yeah. So why are you not a hacker then? All the knowledge. We want all the knowledge, all the cool things, right? I have a programming in here too. Let's yeah. So right, we were starting to learn on stream yesterday go. Um, but it didn't seem as odd as I was thinking it would be. It seemed like a few quirks, but kind of C similar style.
Brumbo says.
Yeah. What voice is that, Brumbo? What voice is that? uh, all right. So my computer tells me that insufficient disk space to record anything. Oh, my hard drives are full now. Let me look. I'll have to look. Look, not all of them, but um megabytes left on this one, so this was the one it had, definitely, right? Uh-huh. Well, I've started to actually upload everything to YouTube, so I don't feel like I need to record everything.
Chandu16 says, I looked into other people exploits on Hackerone which are open. Found out that they are kinda hard, so I took a backseat for now.
Ah, okay, yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's I'm going to do that. Look, also look at what other people have found, right? Um, so then you know what kind of things you can find. So that's very, I think that's a very good plan if you're into like going bug bounty things, and that might be a plan too. If not nothing else, to just to make sure you learn it and test it. Um, and then it all depends on time, right? And I don't think, maybe that's not a thing you should stream. Hmm? It all depends, though. I mean, if you're a total noob, might get some help. Um, so these are my public notes, by the way. So these are available. I haven't updated them in a bit, so I'm going to. So,
There is a guy who always hacks GitLab and they are really good and creative.
okay. Do you mean on stream then? Um, let's. I can just do this. Um, so it was a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. Uh, kind of like a long time ago, right? I'm just always. What did I like? Uh, I think I just. These are notes, updates. 24 or 5. And I'm tired, so I don't remember the date of today even. So, see if I'm not spelling it right. No, it's cheating. Shouldn't that be really general there? If I spelled it wrong. So, these are separate repositories. So these are available to. That's why it can't do it. Maybe I should add them to the ignore, but I would really like to. I think I managed to add one of them before, and I wrote down what I did, and I couldn't repeat it. So that's kind of annoying. Anyway, so the notes are updated on my GitHub now. So if anyone is interested in my notes, it's there. And also, it's not complete because we need more stuff. Um, so I just added these two to the thingy menu there. Let's go there. This one. This one. And this is not exploit and loans because it's so closely connected. There's no reason why, searching for vulnerabilities and searching for exploits, um, it's not that far between. Let's continue looking at this because I don't wanna, check all the things here. NVDE, National Vulnerability Database. The National Vulnerability Database is a website that lists all publicly categorized vulnerabilities. In cybersecurity, vulnerabilities are classified under common vulnerability exposures. CVE. Oh, so that's what CVE is. Common vulnerabilities and exposures. I don't think I've ever read that actually. We could add this to the list. I think I have a. Why do I keep tabbing to that one? Tabbing there now, and tabbing there, so we don't have anything else between. And I'm going to go to acronyms here, and we have a list for the not so complex ones, just not sorted or anything. So let's add this one because it might sometime, somehow, somewhere. Oh well, I guess it can be there. The stars, if it really wants it. It's not like I don't. To be honest, it's too hard to remove it from the other ones. It's not worth it. So now we have little notes, more things. The CVS, the formatting number, CVE year, ID number. For example, the vulnerability that the famous Warnick used was CVE 2017-0144. NVD allows you to see all the CVEs. Oh my god, my eye. Allergy itching. Laws that have been confirmed using filters by category and month of submission. For example, it is 3 days into August. There have already been 233 new CVs submitted to the database. Let's actually look because I've never searched here. So, search. What I want to search, yeah. Is it just me or is it very slow? So we want to see last 3 months.
You doing CTF stuff?
Yeah, I've started doing that, but I'm still a noob. So it's not very quick when I do it. But it might be, if someone else is a noob, it might be good to be slow. If someone is good, they might help me instead. So if you're good, you're welcome to stick around for that anyway. I'm more like I wanted like the last days, see if there's much, but we can search for this. I don't want to do advanced searches for that. So how much CVEs have got? It's like more than 10 pages. Oh my goodness. Alright, yeah, because I know that they do like CVEs for everything, right? They do CVEs for everything. So I'm not surprised.
VR Mechatronics says. Chandu16, I have the same question, what doing this hacking?
What doing this hacking? I'm sorry, VR. Could you rephrase that so I understand what you meant? Did you ask the same thing if I do CTF stuff? Hmm. Uh, what I mean is that I have
Chandu16
been.
says. Sorry, I did not understood. VR Mechatronics says. In title topic.
Yeah, it says learninghackinginteract.me.com. Is that what you mean? So this is a website where you can learn things. Let's see. So this is the path junior penetration tester, and among the other paths there are lots of different things. So I might do the red teamer one after this, but maybe something else between. We'll see. Depends on what I feel ready for. But those seem like interesting bits that I need more information about. This is more like repetition. And filling on some
Triple
details,
A
like what
OK,
actually
thank you.
CVE stands for, right? So I didn't know what CVE stands for, but I've used several. So I never thought about that, so I added it to my notes, so now it's there. And in my notes, I try to put stuff that I will use, and maybe if I think it's obvious, I might edit anyway if someone else might want to look at it. So it's not, I'm not doing it just for me. So anybody allows us to see. Yeah, so that's, I read that. Well, this website helps keep track of new vulnerabilities. It's not great when searching for vulnerabilities for a specific application or scenario. Yeah, so the search here, if we go back. All right, one more page. Let's say we want to search for nothing. It's just slow. It's very slow. So let's search for Windows 11, just because typing something, right? Let's say we want something specific. There are 1,628 matches for this, which is not odd. Some of them are kind of much longer. Are there not different fields to fill in on these? Anyway, let's continue reading. So now ExploitDB. It's a resource that we as hackers will find much more helpful during an assessment. ExploitDB retains exploits for software and applications stored under the name, author, and version of the software or application. We can use ExploitDB to look for snippets of code known as proof of concept (POC) that are used to exploit a specific vulnerability. Yeah. Using NVD, how many CVEs were published in July? Okay, so that's a challenge. Search and statistics. So July 2021. Let's do the advanced one then. Let's see what we get. Right, published ranged. So I'm like, how many days is it in July? It's not far anyway. July has 31 days. So thank you. So I guess we can click here actually, right? So if we do go for 2024 and click these, and then I can change the text. That's a lazy approach. And 2020. So no.
Chandu16 says. Web link.
Yeah, I will look at it in a second. I did report a thing there, but it was not. They were just saying like, yeah, we know about it, we don't care. But it was not really a bug either. It was just like, see if I can edit this. I can't even use arrow keys. No, I could. So up and down works. This is so annoying. So this is a bad web page. Bad. I guess they're so worried to have someone typing something bad in here, so you're not allowed even to edit it. You can only like, whatever. I guess we search this and see. 1554. Let's see if this is the answer. And then we'll look at the hint too. Search type to advanced. Yeah. Who is the author of ExploitDB? So, who is the author? Do we know that? They said, right? Not here, right? So,
I will catch you later. Good luck. Have
okay,
fun.
thank you. I'll look at the link quickly if you want before you leave. Um, all right. So these are the ones you looked at before. Hmm? Thanks, and have a great day. So if we click here, we'll get the same thing. Uh, of 6 services limited. There. Oh my, it itches in my ear. So, an example of finding a vulnerability. I think I learned to find these when I joined the GAR's Discord events. Because that's where first times I did boxes. So, in this task, I'm going to demonstrate the process of finding one minor vulnerability, coupled with some research of the vulnerability databases leading to a much more vulnerable vulnerability, and exploit ultimately. Throughout an assessment, you will often combine multiple vulnerabilities to get results. For example, in this task, we will leverage the version disclosure vulnerability to find out the version of an application. With this version, we can use exploit.db to search for the exploits that work with a specific version. Applications and software usually have a version number. Oh, now this information is usually left with good intentions. For example, the author can support multiple versions of the software and the likes, or sometimes left unintentionally. So, for example, in the screenshot below, I recognize that we can see that the name and version of this application is a hash token. So I saw this is in a box. With this information in hand, let's use the search filter on exploit.db and look for exploit that may apply to Tomcat. Let's laziness and copy this. So nothing. So I'm like thinking, did I change it to just look for um, no exploit DB and exploits that apply to, and then we copied it and pasted it, and we didn't get anything there. Yeah, they're just doing Tomcat. So why would not the full name be there? This is interesting, right? Because yeah, this didn't work either. Let's actually type it. And then we have something. Oh right, they're doing that too. Okay, I didn't see they didn't type it all. So with this information now, let's search. Great, after searching exploit DB, there are a total of 5 exploits that may be useful for this specific version of the application. Yeah. But why not add a possibility to search for the full version number? Because there might be in between, and then you could just It should have that built in. That would be nice. What type of vulnerability did we use to find the name and version of the application in this example?
VR Mechatronics says, do you teach at any school?
No, only my YouTube channel. I've thought about it, but it's always been I've always been helping people when I'm in school. Um, so no, I'm just thinking the things I had here before. Uh, this was application logic. So is this what we're supposed to do? Hmm. Maybe we're supposed to look here.
I think that students need your help more in understanding English in programming than in the language itself in exercises.
Understanding English in programming than in the language itself in exercises. I'm not sure what you mean again. Sorry, but I don't understand a whole lot of things you say. I'm sorry. Um, so are you meaning studying English and studying programming, and there's a mix of it, and you don't understand the terms then for programming? Also, I will need to eat something too. My tummy is grumbling here. I'm just reading.
If only it were the Discord from Tier 3 Science.
Oh. So you want me to say that if you do a tier 3 sub, you can be on with me in the in the stream? But you can without doing a tier 3 sub. You can tier 3 sub if you want to, you know? It's allowed if you can afford it. Let's close this one, by the way. So they just had it up there.
Not only me but 30 places in live share.
So you're all the time trying to make me money. You're trying to find ways for me to make this a business. So, I'm thinking, is this something that's actually
2.
interesting?
Yes.
So let's view this site. It's your first week in a job as a junior presentation testing at the pen testing co. Your first engagement, you're shadowing a senior presentation testing within the company. Am I reading too quickly, VR? You think I'm reading too quickly? You can tell me. I'll try to be moderate pace, if that's the problem. Deploy the site attached to this task and follow the steps that a senior penetration tester took to exploit the vulnerability against IT service infrastructure. So, we're being guided through this. There's no way to change the sizes in this, but let's just look at it. I know the last one of these I had didn't work, so I'm just like, hope it works. It is your first week at the Pen Testing Co. as a junior penetration tester. To ease into the role, you're shadowing a senior penetration tester on your first engagement. The senior penetration tester has managed to find a vulnerability in a web application that a client Acme IT service uses. Follow the steps that a senior penetration tester took to ultimately exploit Acme IT services infrastructure. So I read it all the same again, apparently. So we have the web address here, and it's like squished, but at least we see the bottom this time. Um, so um, we have mail. Thank you for taking on this engagement. Please document every step extensively for the new junior penetration testing to follow.
Then if you do the exercises with viewers from an English textbook, for example C.
No, I'm not going to be an English teacher. It would be tech, programming, things like that. So I wouldn't be teaching English. So I have attached our company reporting template to help with this. As a reminder, Acme IT service only want you to test the IP address. Any other IP address is out of scope, so we have the IP. Now, of course, we copy it out, and then we try if it actually was copied, because this is the two thingy. It might not be. Any other IP or machine is out of scope. Good luck. So we have a next. The cloud companies, thank you for signing up. The forest training support jump. Information gathering. I feel slow, but I guess let's go. At this stage, the senior penetration tester has used a public service that compiles some details about the target company. As we can see, Acme IT Services provide IT service to 800 plus clients. This information is useful because we can begin to think of possible software that they are using for us to attack. For example, help desk or support application. So that might have been a good thing to know. Might that be usual to start with attacking the help desk of a company if it's a certain size? Um, it's not like I've tried it before, but it's still a useful thought. So if it's IRL thing, mm, company's report. Company info, established 2017, business type corporation, purpose IT services. Yeah, and that's the whole thing, right? Client Hacker plus CEO Danny Phantom. So we also have his name here. So let's save this to our information here. We can also see more things, but this was a mail address. Enumeration and scanning. The senior penetration tester now moves on to the enumeration and scanning stage of the engagement. This stage helps establishing. Sorry, just checking chat. This stage helps establish services and applications running on Acme's infrastructure. We can use the information gathered from the scan to begin to understand what services may be viable to attack. For example, a web server hosting a website. Recall from our email, we are given one IP address. Try scanning this IP address yourself. So, I don't think we can do much here, right? This can only run the example one. So let's copy this again and paste it, or let's make sure. Oh, I can't type. It's even that. I can't. It shouldn't even type nmap. So so here we have information, and it's actually text, so we can copy it. So we have the ports here. Since this will disappear, we're going to copy it too, right? Need some notes here. So next, 3 application tests. Use of the information gathered from stage 2 of the penetration engagement. The junior penetration tester has visited the target in their web browser and are now greeted with a login page. Senior penetration tester guesses some random password such as admin to no avail. They notice a version number of the application. Well, I would never have guessed that because, that's what we were doing. Checking for numbers. And takes note of this. This will be useful for the next stage. So, yeah, so we're actually supposed to search this. Yeah, are we? I don't think so, right? So we're supposed to try like admin. We're not supposed to try stuff. We're supposed to click next. Can we go back? Vulnerability bank TM, listing vulnerabilities. So I missed the text even there. So that's annoying. Let's see what happens if we do this. We get the same thing. We need to update the page. Hopefully it will. I think it worked before. So, then we entered the IP address, and then we got this number. So we're supposed to do anything here, or not? We just saw that it exists, and then we're going to search for stuff, right? So, the senior penetration tester recalls that Acme IT service is using an application called Acme Portal. That's the version number 1.2. The senior penetration tester visits a vulnerability exploit database called Vulnerability Bank TM. This website stores details of vulnerabilities and exploits for applications. The senior penetration tester searches the site for software that was discovered in stage 3. They're in luck. There is one vulnerability listed for the application and version. Remote code execution RCE. RCE vulnerability allows commands to be executed on the target system. The senior penetration tester could use this vulnerability to gain access to the console of the target. Try searching vulnerability bank for the. Yeah, and I noticed the name there too, but let's copy this so we have it in memory. So we're going to search. Woohoo! We have a hit here. But we can't even click it, no? So we search to we found something. Exploitation. Accumulating the information from all previous stages, the senior development penetration tester uses the exploit download from vulnerability bank TM against Acme's web application on IP. The exploit is successful and abuses the remote code execution RCE vulnerability to launch a reverse call on its infrastructure. From here, the senior penetration tester can look for files of values such as passwords, backups, or application source code. So we're just going to click show flag. Yeah. So I could just quickly next it through that, right? Well, whatever. Let's continue. Conclusion. Nice work. You made it to the end. This room will serve as introductory to vulnerability research and some skills and resources it requires, where you have practically applied this knowledge. I'm a bit disappointed.